in fact than most of us realize. If you were to shave off all of the land from the tops of every
Whoa, whoa. He's pickaxing a mountain. It's actually working.
single
What?
island in the world and fill up the ocean's deepest points with that land, then the entire Earth would be covered in an ocean 2 miles deep. 3/4 of our planet is already covered in water, though, and it goes
Wait. Am I tripping?
miles deep. 3/4 of our planet is already covered in water, though, and it goes
Wait, it says the world is covered by 75% of water? I thought that was your body. I thought there was 75% of water in your body. But now it's saying that it's the world. That makes no sense. I'm actually mad
a
confused by
lot
that.
deeper than just 2 miles. Let's start with a sense of scale. This dot right here is the size of an average
Yo,
elephant.
that's
The
me!
slightly larger dot is the size
That's
of
an elephant!
and this is the size of the largest ship ever built,
The Titanic?
Nautilus. With that in mind, let's start going underwater and see what we find out.
Okay.
The first milestone is at 40 meters below the surface, which is the maximum depth allowed for recreational scuba diving.
Easy.
A little further down at 93 meters is where the wreck of the Lusitania was discovered, which is interesting because
Didn't know the
Lusitania
Titanic?
itself is 240 meters long, which means that it sank in water shallower than it is long, so if the ship was standing on its stern or bow, it would be sticking out of the water. Just slightly deeper than that, at 100 meters, is where diving can become seriously fatal if you're not careful because of decompression sickness.
Only
But
100
next up,
meters?
a man named Herbert Nitsch to accomplish the free diving world record at a depth of 214 meters.
Damn!
This guy swam down to this level with just one single breath. But a little further down,
What?
300
You can't go down that far with one breath because you gotta come back up.
2 meters, we have the scuba diving world record, which was accomplished by another man named Ahmed Gabir. If he had swam down another 111 meters, then he would have reached the height of the Empire State Building if it was
Yo,
submerged underwater.
what?
And a little further than that, at 500 meters below the surface, we arrive at the maximum dive depth of blue whales, the largest creatures on the planet and also the limit of the
You're telling me a whale can only go 500 meters down, bro? That's such a fucking... That's a nerf, man.
Dive depth of emperor penguins, and this is when we must bring up the intensity.
Yo,
of
I
water
love penguins.
pressure. At this level below the surface, the water pressure exerted on a person or the penguins would be roughly equivalent to a polar bear standing on a quarter. So further down the depths at 830 meters would be the height of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. The
Yo,
tallest building
Mia
in the world.
Khalifa.
Once we hit 1,000 meters below the surface, we begin to enter the scary zone. Light from the surface can no longer reach beyond this point, so the rest of the ocean below is shrouded in permanent darkness. On top of that, the water pressure you would experience at this point would be about the same as if you were standing on the surface of the planet Venus, meaning that you would die very quickly. You would
What? So you're telling me at 500 meters, the pressure was like a polar bear stepping on a quarter, and now it's about a human standing on a planet? That makes no sense. So how do we just go from a smaller thing standing on a bigger thing, and yet it's bad, it's worse? That makes no sense.
also meet the giant squid at this sea level if the water pressure...
Yo, this giant squid, bro. Yo, I don't even think 1,000 meters under the water is bad. Like, bro, what? I think someone could go swim down to 1,000 meters, man. I don't think that's actually that far. Because if you think about it, running it around a track is like 400 meters, so you have to do that about 3 times. So if you're running a track 3 times, that's how far you have to swim down. That does not seem that far, chat. I feel like you could swim down there, bro.
80 meters, we reach the maximum depth dived to by the leatherback sea turtle.
What?
Down at
A turtle likes the
1,808
darkness?
meters, we would reach the deepest part of the Grand Canyon were it to be underwater with us. Down at 2,000 meters, we start to encounter some of the more terrifying sea creatures, like the ominously named black dragonfish, a carnivorous beast with a stomach that doesn't allow light to be emitted through it. Meaning that since we're in total darkness underwater at this point, the only way you would ever see this thing is with a flashlight.
Oh my fucking god, that's what it looks like? I just seen its eyeball, but now that's a jump scare.
The only way you would ever see this thing is with a
Yo, that thing's hideous,
A
man.
little further down at 2,250 meters, we would reach the maximum depth dived to by both sperm whales and the very frightening colossal squid. Sperm whales often have sucker marks and scars left on their bodies from battles with the colossal squid that likely take place at these incredible depths. The squids themselves can grow to be 14 meters long and weigh up to 750 kilograms with eyes the size of a...
750 fucking kilograms? Damn. Holy shit, the ocean is not to be fucked with, bro. Damn. I don't think we'll ever experience the ocean then. Jesus.
Dinner plate and razor sharp sickles in the middle.
Holy shit, that's their teeth, bro? That's disgusting.
Good luck with that down there. Way further down at 3,800 meters, we can find the wreck of the RMS Titanic. And
yo, shout out the Titanic. Gone but not forgotten, bro. Shout out the Titanic, bro. Someday, bro, we will grab that boat.
Past that at 4,000
but not today.
We start to enter the abyssal zone of the ocean. Water pressure is at an astonishing 11,000 pounds per square inch down here.
That ain't even that bad.
Numerous strange, almost alien-like creatures that inhabit these depths, such as the fangtooth, anglerfish.
Yo, what are those fishes, bro? Wait, so, yo, chat, so I'm confused, chat. Like, animals that live in the water, like, how do they sleep? Like, do they just have to swim all their lives? Like, what happens when they stop swimming? Do they just, like, stay where they are, or do they sink, or do they float up? Like, how do they sleep? Like a fish. A fish can't sleep in the water, man. He's just gotta, like, he's just gotta stop and stay there. That makes no sense. Bro, those are the most hideous fishes ever, bro. Those are weird.
Ocean where you would normally expect to hit the floor, but there are parts of the ocean that go significantly deeper than even this.
What?
At 4,791 meters rests the wreckage of the battleship Bismarck, sunk during World War II, and way down at 6,000 meters is the beginning of the Hadal Zone, named after the underworld Hades itself. The water pressure down at these depths can become 1,100 times what you would experience way back on top of the surface,
what?
Which is roughly equal.
What if there's a city underwater and we don't know about it? Could you imagine?
Balancing on a postage stamp, or a single person carrying the weight of 50 Boeing 747 jumbo jets.
Damn.
Down at these depths, you would be crushed immediately without any outside protection, but life still exists down here in various strange forms. At 6,500 meters, we reach the maximum depth that the DSV Alvin can dive to, a popular research submarine that helped to discover the Titanic. Way further down at 8,848 meters below the surface, and we have arrived at the height of Mount Everest, where it to be upside down and placed underwater. And then, way further past even that, at 10,898 meters, we arrive at the depth reached by James Cameron in 2012 during the Deep Sea Challenger mission. The deepest point in the ocean
What?
yet
He was
reached by
in
humans
that thing?
was back in 1960, though, when two men named Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard reached a depth of 10,916 meters using their Chxster submarine. It took them 5 hours to descend through the ocean to this depth, and they only stayed for 20 minutes before a window cracked and they began to resurface. Just a bit further down from there at 10,000...
Bro, could you imagine your window cracking down there, man? Holy fuck, you'd be shitting your pants. You got 5 hours of just praying that the window doesn't crack.
Altitude of a commercial airliner. So if you've ever looked out of a window while on a flight and looked down to the ground, that's a very good sense of how incredibly deep down into the abyss that we are currently at. Finally, when we hit 10,994 meters, we have hit the bottom of the known ocean, called the Challenger Deep, right here on this map, just about 300 kilometers southwest of Guam Island. However, it is believed that there are almost certainly even deeper parts of the ocean than this that just haven't...
Wait, so if the ocean's really that deep, why don't they just drain the ocean? Like, I'm being dead serious when I say that, like, no clip farming, nothing. If the ocean is there, if there's that much water, just drain the water, and then the ocean will lower, and then you can discover farther down. That makes no sense. But, like, I mean, shit. Fuck, I mean, I'm a college dropout, and I just thought of a great idea, and you motherfuckers can't think of shit.
Been discovered yet. It wasn't until 1997, after all, that the Serena Deep was discovered.
The wrong people are running our country, bro.
732 meters, making it the second deepest known point in the ocean. It is estimated that only about 5% of the ocean's floor has been accurately mapped, leaving the other 95% to be currently a mystery.
Oh, there's definitely a city underground, bro, and some weird ass people that we have not met.
And who knows what we may discover there.
Yo, that's a W video, because that's actually